Mubarak, and during his time there was a minister of culture. His name is called Farouk Hosni, and he was outside Egypt. He was in Italy, and one of his Italian friend, invited him for a dinner, and asked him, joking, isn't Egypt going to construct a museum instead of the old one at Tahrir Square? So the minister told him, yes, we have a plan to that. At the time, no plan for the museum. Okay? And when the minister returned back to Egypt, he told the president and told him that about construction of a museum. So the president told him, okay, that is a good idea, but no money for that. So he told them, it's okay, we are going to start to announce that we are going to make a museum. Then a lot of countries going to help Egypt by fund, because it will be not a museum for Egypt, it will be a museum for all Muslims. So they started from 1990. Then the first and actual the foundation of the museum started at 2006. Okay. And when we moved a big statue of King Ramses II from area called Ramses Square to here. Okay. And the transportation of the statue, it took about 1 week. Okay, because they move it like one piece. Okay. Then at the beginning, when we started, there was a lot of researches about the best place for the new museum. Then the government, they found that it would be better to be at 2022. Okay, we opened the grand hall. Then at 2023 we opened the grand staircase. Then at 2024 we opened the galleries. Okay. Then last year at 1st of November 2025 it was the official inauguration of the museum. Okay. The total area of the museum 500,000 meters squares. One of the biggest museums in the world nowadays. Okay. The museum itself, because it is many buildings, it is about 108,000 meters squares. Inside the museum, there is a special place dedicated for King Tutankhamun, the Golden King. King Tutankhamun, only about 50,000 meters squares dedicated for his collection. Okay. Also, you are going to see here. We called it obelisk. Okay, obelisk. Always you are going to see in front of any temples like landmark. This is a temple, and also the kings. They took it like.
جبنا ميوزيوم من ده Indian كده في Egypt. راجع ಟೂರ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಸಹಿತ ಹೀಗೆ
In a circle like that, it is Ra.
Wow.
Okay? So when you see in a circle like that, this is Ra. So in ancient Egyptian language, sometimes the sign give you two sounds. Sometimes give you one sound. Sometimes give you three sounds. So this one. This is Min, M-N. And this is Ka. Ka. But here this is lower, so cow. Cow. Ba. So this is the name of King Kawa, the owner of the small pyramid in Giza. This one here, at the top here. Top here. This is Ra. This one here, Kha. So Ra, and this is one sound, F. Ra, F, Ra. So this is the name of King Khafra, the owner of the second bird. And here, this is Kh, and W, so Khu, F, Fu, Khufu.
Khufu.
Owner of the great bird.
Khufu.
So this is, now you can know a little bit about ancient Egyptian language. Okay, let's go inside. He is the owner of Abu Simbel Temple at Aswan. He made the first peace treaty in the world with Hittite king from Egypt. Okay, And also some scholars say that he married about 40 wives and had about 90 children.
King name is
Ramses II.
Ramses.
Ramses II. 40 wives, 90 children. He was a busy man. Okay? So, I told you when we started the foundation of this museum, we moved the statue. This statue, it was moved from Ramses Square to here, okay? And it took 1 week. Okay, that statue it was discovered at 1954 at area called Memphis, okay? And it was in 3 pieces. Then it took about 10 years to be restored as a statue like that, okay? Then at the beginning, at 1964, they bought it at Ramses Square. Then it is moved here at 2006. Okay, it is about 1 piece of granite stone. It is about 12 meters in height, about 100 tons. I'm going to tell you about the traditional pose of any Egyptian statue. When you are going to see any statue in the world, you are going to notice Egyptian by yourself. So all the statues are supposed to be like that. With left leg step forward. So this is the first step to afterlife. Okay. Also, scholars say that heart and left hand side. Also, all kings in ancient Egypt supposed to shave their hair and their beard. So he is wearing royal headdress like that. We call it nemes. And supposed to be there is like a cobra in his forehead for protection. And he's wearing 4 spears. The 4 spears are wear 2 types.
What is this?
Yes, for 4 spears they wear 2 types. If you are going to see any beard like that, straight one means that the king he was still alive when they made the statue for him. If you are going to see any beard like that, curved one means that he's already passed away, or this is statue for God or goddess. Okay. Also, they added the king is wearing like a double crown because before unification they wear 2 crowns. White crown for Upper Egypt, red crown for Lower Egypt. After unification, it is a double crown like that. Then the king Ramses II, he added 2 feathers like God Osiris. Okay, so now it's your time. So, and also you are going to see King Ramses II, he depicted his name everywhere. On his shoulder, on the belt, on the chest. This is King Ramses II, on the wrist. Okay, now you can take a nice photo with the statue. Then we are going to continue.
This is the daughter of the king, Ramses II.
Like a falcon, this is called hair name
Names.
of the king. Then you are going to see like a bull. This is called Egyptian character is called Karnak, which means a strong bull. This is one of the names of the king. Then the second one is called, you can see to right hand side a lady, she is like sitting. This is goddess Ma'at, so it's called Marie Ma'at, beloved of goddess Ma'at. Then going to see this is like a bee and like a papyrus. This is called Nisubiti. This is the name of the king of Upper Lower Egypt. Oh, this is called coronation name of the king. I'm going to be king, going to give a name like that. Okay? How we are going to read hieroglyphics? You can see that symbol here looking to right. So starting from right. If the symbol looking to left, so starting from left. So it depends on. So this one here looking to right. So it is called Usir Ma'at Ra, which means the power of the justice of Ra. Then the second one, Setib in Ra, which means selected by God Ra. Okay? Then the last one supposed to be the birth name of the king. Ramses II is called Sarah. It is talking about Ra'mis, Nuri Ibn, the child of Ra and beloved of God Amen.
Left side.
No, right hand side. Okay? Victorious column of King Menptah. King Menptah, he was a 12th son of King Ramses II. So he had many sons, but this was the 12th son of the King Ramses II, and he became the king after him. King Menptah, he had many military expeditions against many people. So here he recorded that he had a military expedition against Libyan tribes, and he succeeded to win all the wars against them. Then he depicted that on that pillar in front of the gods of ancient Egypt. So here we can see some numbers here. For example, you can see that like taking that this is number 100. Okay, you can see like that. 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 200, 1, 2, 3. So 230. Then 1, 2, 3, 300. So this is counting about the captives and what he took from that war. Okay, so this is Egyptian numbers.
Okay.
انا رايح بعد بكره هواره والهول هكلمك جسيني.
Queen Alcinoy II. This is Ptolemaic times that we use these two theaters, and nowadays it is displaying in Grand Egyptian Museum. So from Mediterranean Sea, bottom of the Mediterranean Sea, to the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Okay. It's a real one.
Real one, yes.
Okay.
But it is restored, of course, after they succeeded to rescue from the Mediterranean Sea. We did a lot of restoration on it.
Photos ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
2023. The grand staircase, it is divided to 4 stories or 4 floors. So the first floor, all statues talking about kings, okay, for many birds. The second floor talking about temples, house of gods, many elements from temples. The third floor, it is talking about relation between kings and gods, okay. The last floor, it is talking about afterlife, all like sarcophagus, coffins, something like that. Then ending of that staircase with the view of the 3 pyramids, like we are ascending from life to afterlife. Okay. From 12th dynasty, Middle Kingdom, talking about 2000 BC, but the names here for King Ramses II. That was happening in ancient Egypt. Some kings, okay, going to put their names on the statue of other kings. This is Senusert the first. This is the same king, Senusert the third. This is Queen Hatshepsut, one of the famous queens who ruled Egypt and the fairest pharaoh lady in ancient Egypt. Okay, we can see here. This is King Akhenaton, and King Akhenaton, he was the father of King Tutankhamun. Okay, so like I told you, the first floor, all statues talking about king or kingship. Okay, when finish this one, going to see the. Okay, so the second floor here, this is all house of gods or temples. Like you can see, like pillars, this is like papyrus, like lotus. You can see the Sphinx here, but this one, a unique one. We watched the Sphinx at Giza with head of human being
Yes.
and body of lion.
Yes.
This one the same, but they added hair of lion. Okay?
Okay.
This one here, the nails, they are going to put the statue of the god, which is made in ancient Egypt from pure gold inside the sanctuary. This one here is the top of the obelisk of Queen Hatshepsut. Okay, this is at Karnak, Luxor. It is completely destroyed, and this is God Amun. If you want to go know God Amun with 2 feathers, so when you are going to see any god with 2 feathers, this is God Amun, the local god of Luxor. We can see here, this is God Betah. God Betah, always in ancient Egypt in mummified form, okay, holding a stick and with beard, and he, wearing a cap. Can you see the statue? It is very close to Oscar Prize.
Oscar.
Okay,
Yes,
so
correct,
the
correct.
Americans, they took the idea from Egypt. Okay,
okay.
Oscar Prize, that's similar. Okay, so to the second here, this is his wife, goddess Sekhmet. The lioness goddess. Okay, so the lioness goddess in ancient Egypt, goddess Sekhmet, she had 2 natures. When she was calm, she was goddess of healing. When she was angry, she was goddess of destruction. So 2 natures at the same side. Okay. Also here, we are going to see, like I told you, the 3rd floor talking about the relation between kings and gods. So we can see here in ancient Egypt there was something we called it Trinity or Triad, Father, Mother, and Son. So this is the Triad of Memphis. Supposed to be God Betah to left hand side, his wife to right hand side, Goddess Sekhmet, and in between supposed to be their son. His name was called Nefertum, but here King Ramses II depicted himself as the son of Betah and son of Sekhmet. Okay, let's go up. Like I told you, mother, father, and son. Betah, Sekhmet, and King Ramses II.
King
This is
Ramses
famous in
II,
ancient.
okay.
This is famous in ancient. So this section, like I told you, talking about relation between king and god. So you're going to see all those kings identified with the gods. This is the main god in Greek and Roman time. They showed the respect for Egyptian gods and goddesses. Then later on, they like mixed the gods from Egypt and Greek. So they selected god Zeus, the king of gods in Greek mythology, and god Osiris and god Apis from Egyptian mythology, and they mixed it in one god called it god Serapis. And god Serapis, he had two forms. One is like that, like complete male with Greek hair, okay, and Greek feature. The second one as a bull. Okay, so this is one form of the god Serapis. She was goddess of love, joy, music in ancient Egypt. She was the cow goddess of Egypt. Okay, she took three forms. One as complete lady with two horns with sun disk in the middle. The second one as complete cow with two horns with sun disk in the middle. The third one it is Mekich, head of lady and body of cow. So this is view of the three birds. And King Akhenaten, he is considered one of the most strangest king in ancient Egypt. Why? Because in ancient Egypt there were a lot of gods and goddesses. Ancient Egyptian religion was depending on sun. Okay, the ancient Egyptian, they saw that there was like a sun. Okay, or there was like a secret power behind the sun. Okay, so they worship that power, and that power formed in many shapes like snakes, cow. Okay, so then Aton came. There was other god, his name is called God Aton. God Aton, it was like that sun disk with sun rays ending with hands. Like the god giving him life every day. But when King Akhenaten passed away, the priests of other gods, they were angry of him because he closed all the temples of other gods. So they destroyed all of his monuments, his statue, his capital also. Okay? Also the kings, they did the same. So this is the first for King Akhenaten worshiping for God Aton, but have a look at the back. His name is written here, Horemheb, the last king in 18th dynasty. He removed the scene of King Ramses, of King Akhenaten. Then he depicted himself in front of God Ammon and Goddess Mut. So that was happening in ancient Egypt. So they recycled, okay, but they did that because they didn't like King Akhenaten. The three pyramids of Giza here. You can take a nice photo. One, society. So society, you are going to see all the status talking about daily life. The second one, kingship, all the status talking about kings. The last one, beliefs, gods and goddesses. Then it is divided two periods. Starting from prehistorical period, we're talking about 20,000, 40,000 BC. Okay, at that time in ancient Egypt there were no civilization, just there were small civilizations. Known as Masada. Then came after that all kingdom. All kingdom. This is from the third till the sixth dynasty. This is we called it the pyramids era. A lot of pyramids were built at the time, starting from the first pyramid in the history, the first pyramid at the Saqqara, and came the most famous pyramid at Giza Plateau that we watched at the moment. Then came after that the first intermediate period. This is chaotic time from 7 till 10 dynasties. At the time Egypt it was unstable. There were a lot of political issues, a lot of fighting. So the scholars said to us in the 7 dynasties, the 70 king ruled Egypt for 70 days. So every day there is one king ruling. At the end of the day, killed and so on for 70 days. So that's showing us the chaotic at that time. So that's why maybe all the precious stuff of the emperor. Then came the second intermediate period, starting from 13 till 17 dynasties. At the time, Egypt it was unstable, and people came from eastern part of Egypt. okay, from Palestine called Hyksos. They invaded Lower Egypt. So at the time there were two kingdoms, one to the north, one to the south. Then came New Kingdom. This is the most prosperous time in Egyptian history. Okay, some scholars called it New Empire because Egypt expanded outside Egypt, expanded to Nubia, Libya, Lebanon, and Syria. Okay, so it was a big empire. Also, the New Kingdom started from 18 to 20 dynasty. Also, all the famous kings and queens, which are well known nowadays. Okay, from the third intermediate period, this is like from 21st till 21st till 25. You can see something from the Stone Age. Okay, so that's showing us the ancient Egyptian civilization is starting from scratch, nothing. Okay, like that. Then later on, they starting to construct tombs, pyramids, houses, going to carve on stones. Okay, painting. Okay, so this is. We can see something because we are in society, so this is from daily life. We are going to see some statues for making wine, beer, bread, okay, making jars. You can see that lady baking, okay. You can see some bread here inside. Okay, this is, we're talking.
Washing.
No, baking. Okay, you can see here a bread, real bread. It was discovered inside a tomb. We're talking about 2500 BC. This one here, this is a bread. Brown it was for male, white it was for female. Okay, so this is some statues of noble for beautification, like eyelashes, eyebrows, okay, like a comb, okay, like a mirror. At the time, no glass, so they made a mirror from bronze, copper, okay, silver, gold, okay, some jewelries, okay, like. Also, we can see here like a scene for all what the deceased need and afterlife they depicted here. Okay, and have a look for the colors. Okay, still fresh because they didn't use chemicals. Yeah, real painting. So white color lasted after.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಜವಾದ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ಗಳು. ಗೀಜಾ ಪಿರಮಿಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದು ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೆದ ಆ ಗೋಡೆ ತಂದೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಅವ್ರು ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಪಾತ್ರೆಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ತಂದಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
One of the most important job because he painted in brown color and he painted like a color. But have a look for eyes. It is inlaid eyes. It is made out of crystal. It is crystallized, and you are going to see glowing at the light, and also you are going to see some reddish color. His eyes, like when they made the statue. The step pyramid, bent one, unsuccessful try to make a. There's the first completion
ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಮೊದಲು ಈ ಥರ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಥರ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಥರ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಥರ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸಮ್ ರೇಟ್ ಇದೆ 3000, 2000.
The funerary equipment of Queen Hatshepsut, and she was the mother of King Khufu, the owner of the Great Pyramid. So her tomb supposed to be very close to her husband at the shore, but it is warped. So her son moved all of her stuff to a tomb very close to his pyramid at Giza Plateau. So the funeral equipment, it is made out of wood and half layer of gold. So we can see this is from mosquito. We can see the sarcophagus.
This is not real one, right?
And they are
These all are real.
afterlife. You can see the sarcophagus here. Okay, it is made out of alabaster. This is Egyptian marble.
ಇದೆ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋದು ಇದೇನೆ. ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲೇ ಮಮ್ಮಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು.
And we can see this is a canopic jars which contains the internal organs of the queen. Her liver, her intestine, her stomach, her lungs,
ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ
still
ತೆಗೆದು
inside.
ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Heart is the mummy here. Okay, but here this is separate. So at the beginning it was one container, then later on they separate the jars. We are going to see here.
Oh my God. Gallery. ಆ ಗೋಡನೆ
We are
ತಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
going to see this is bangles, okay, or like all the gold leaf and the hieroglyphic inscription. Here,
ಕಫಿನ್ ಓಕೆ.
but this coffin is very unique because you are going to see the depiction of two eyes on the coffin. Why did something like that?
Two eyes.
This is like a connection between the
ಆಮೇಲೆ
okay? So this is like a connection between living and after death. Okay? So the owner of the coffin
ಕಫಿನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಯಲ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
yeah.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲುಗಳನ್ನು.
Table of the funerary bed of God Osiris.
Which one?
This one here. God Osiris, he was God of afterlife, or king of the gods in afterlife. Okay?
Yama. We call Yama.
Yeah. So, in ancient Egypt, okay, there was a famous story talking about the conflict between Osiris and his brother Gatsis. And Gatsis, he jealous a lot from his brother God Osiris. So, because of that, he made a beautiful coffin and he announced it. If any person is going to fit inside it, he will take it. Okay? So he made that coffin just only for his brother God Osiris. So when his brother went inside the coffin, he closed it and he saw the coffin in Nile River. Then the coffin flew outside Egypt, reached to Lebanon nowadays. Okay? Then the wife of God Osiris, she was goddess Isis, she was goddess of magic. She succeeded to find the coffin of her husband and return it back again to Egypt. But when God knew about that, he got angry. So he killed his brother for the second time. But at the time,
Oh, he was alive when he brought back.
king, so he served the first Middle Kingdom. Always we're calling him the Smiley King.
ಸ್ಮೈಲಿ ಕಿಂಗ್.
We are going to see they put his name also on the belt, okay, in the cartouche.
ಓಕೆ.
Called soul houses. What is soul houses? Okay, mummification in ancient Egypt, it was for all people.
All people,
All
common.
people did, yes, common. But the quality of mummification was depending on quality. So the good quality it was for kings and nobles. Okay? Cheap quality it was for commoners. Okay? So because of that their mummies didn't last up. Also for tourists.
So that's why everyone waiting a better
It was
life.
for kings
Even
and nobles because they can't afford to do something like that. The noble people they couldn't afford to do something like that. So after they finished the mummification, they put the mummy inside the coffin. Okay? Then they're starting to connection between the soul and the mummy. So when the soul going to see the house, notices the owner of the
ಮನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಗುರು.
mummy.
So symbol.
Yeah. No. This is like a symbol. Okay.
House
This is the soul. This is soul house.
Oh, okay.
They put it on the top of the house
That symbol.
like a light. Okay, to guide the soul.
What is that? Tools, is it? Tools.
Sorry?
That is, what is
No, this is like a stick.
walking stick?
ಕಾಫಿ. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಬಾಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಬಾಡಿ ಇರ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ ಇರ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು.
A liver and a tooth.
ಲಿವರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು.
And it is written on it the name of Queen Hatshepsut. So when we discovered the mummy of the queen, it was in bad condition and no name on the mummy. So when we examined the mummy and the liver and the tooth DNA, we found that it is matching. So from that we knew the mummy of Queen Hatshepsut that we are going to see tomorrow at the civilization museum. When we discovered the mummy at the beginning, it was in bad condition and the coffin without name, so it was unknown for us until we discovered that box of liver and tooth. Okay.
What is this? Small things is this?
No, this is for foundation.
Foundation. Okay.
Okay, and this is a scarab symbol of creation in ancient Egypt. Okay, because in ancient Egypt they found that beetles always at the evening going underground, then at the morning going from the ground. So they sort like die and born at the same day. Okay, so because of that they consider it symbol of creation and symbol of good luck. We call them Chapti. This is like the servant for afterlife. Okay, in ancient Egypt they thought that they are going to do a service in afterlife. Okay, so instead of the owner of the tomb doing something like that, they invented one statue for one day. So in some tombs we found that one servant for one day, 365 statues, one servant for one day.
365 statues.
This is for in ancient Egypt. Okay. This is we call it sarcophagus, but sarcophagus taking the previous owner of the tomb.
Okay, what is this actually?
Sorry?
This, what is this?
No, supposed to be the coffin, which contains a mummy inside it.
Where they keep this?
Okay, so this is Queen Hatshepsut, one of the most famous queens in ancient Egypt, one of the queens of the 18th dynasty, New Kingdom. Okay, and Queen Hatshepsut. Okay, so Queen Hatshepsut. Okay, she depicted herself as a man in order to prove that she has a right to rule Egypt. Okay, with the full spear, with the muscles, with brown color, in order to prove that she has ruled Egypt. But by the way, she was one of the most successful ladies who ruled Egypt. She ruled Egypt for 22 years, and she made the first raid expedition outside Egypt. She made it to Bond. Okay, so suit and holding two jars like that to hold the sticky oil inside.
Holding two jars.
Ancient Egypt, they found that baboons always watching the sun rising and cheering. So they consider the baboons as a follower of the sun god Ra. Okay? Also, the ancient Egyptians, they found that baboons always going to be hourly. Each hour going to be. So they found that they organized about that. So that's why they consider the baboon as a follower of the sun god and also one of the symbol of God.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಯಲ್. ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಂತಹ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಪಾತ್ರೆಗಳು ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
He was a son of Isis and Osiris, okay, and it is made out of gold and silver, okay. We can see here a form for the sun god. At the morning, they depicted the sun god Ra as a beetle, which is known as Hebrew in Egyptian language, okay. Then at mid of day as a sun disk, okay. Fight baboons, okay.
That's
Some of
real?
them fight real, yes.
This is real or just one?
No, this is a statue. Symbol of God. Sobek. That's what lion god in ancient Egypt, and it was discovered at Komombo Temple.
ಈ ಥರ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಹೆಂಗಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. كروكودايل.
شايف السن؟
يقول لك ده صغير.
زي الجد بتاعهم بس ده كده صغير.
No, they killed it or they worship some examples, and then at the death of the crocodile, they mummified them like humans or gods.
In Roman time, there was something like that, like a coffin, okay, inside it a mummy, okay. Then they starting to paint the face of the owner of the mummy from outside. So this was a mummy for a lady. Mummy was coffin.
مامي.
That horse, but we are going to see between the two legs of the falcon there is a smaller statue for a king. This is King
Yes.
Naktanebbu. The second was the last king in pharaonic time. Okay, this is before the Greeks. Before the Greeks, you are going to see this one was the last king in pharaonic time.
అంటారు.
Use marble because it is not exist. But starting from Roman times, they're starting to import marble from Italy and they're starting to make a statue from marble. Because in ancient Egypt, they made all the statues before that from alabaster. This is like we watched it for King Minkawa. This is marble. Okay? This is like a papyrus, okay, written in Demotic script. This is one kind of writing of ancient Egyptian, and talking about many topics from life, like marriage contract, like selling a tomb, like we are doing nowadays.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇದೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಬಿಗ್ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
King Tutankhamun is very famous in Egyptian history because of his tomb. Okay, King Tutankhamun, when he became a king, he was 9 years old, and he died at 18 years old. So he did nothing, but he is famous because of his tomb. Okay, King Tutankhamun, he died suddenly, so his tomb didn't prepare at the time. So he was spared for a tomb for other person who became a king after him when he was 90 years old. So when you are going to see the plan of the tomb of King Tutankhamun, it is very narrow for a king at that period. So in order to make something special for him, they made all of his funerary equipment from gold. Okay, it is all gold. Okay, we discovered inside his tomb about 5,226, about 400, 300 or something like that, masterpieces, majority of gold. Okay, and it is for the first time to be displayed here in the Grand Egyptian Museum. Okay, so that's why we dedicated about 50,000 meter squares for the collection only. Okay, at the beginning the scholar says that King Tutankhamun, he died because of tumor, but for the last scan for his mummy at 2010 we found that he died because of bacterial infection. Okay, because he had fell from a chariot and he had a broken leg and he died because of it. By the way, also King Tutankhamun, he was 9, died at 18. He got married and he got 2 children, died infant. Okay, So we can see this is from the tomb of King Tutankhamun. The tomb it was discovered by Howard Carter in 1922 because of Egyptian boy. His name is called Hassan Abdul Rasul. That boy was sitting and holding jar of water. When that jar fell down in the ground, starting to search, they found the shaft of the tomb. Okay, so we can see this is from the tomb of King Tutankhamun. This is some tools for the writing. You can see here. This is looks like chess nowadays. Okay, this is like cynic game, one of the famous game in ancient Egypt, and the ancient Egyptians they play it to pass safely to afterlife because cynic means past. This is looks like chess nowadays. So this is all the chess game of King Tutankhamun. Also, we can see mummified food from afterlife. The mummified duck, ribs, lambs, geese. They put it here. Okay, so they need food in afterlife, so they mummify the food. Fruits like dome. We can see some bread cakes. Okay, some raisin. Okay, so also mummified, yes, like the food here. You can see also some containers of wine.
Wine.
Okay, so the
3,000 years, 4,000
yeah,
years.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. They have a bun,
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah, we can see here some baskets to put the food inside it. Okay. We can see we called it the trumpet. This is musical instrument. This is maybe if you are going to blow inside the trumpet, you are going to hear voice from ancient Egypt. It will be the same voice, but something to be heard from ancient Egypt. They made it from wood, silver, and gold. Okay. We can see some tools which used for farming, like the cycle. You can see some colors. King Tutankhamun, it is made out of wood, it is made out of gold and Rochester stone, lapis lazuli, glass. Okay, and we are going to see how was the goldsmith skillful enough to depict the tiny details. We can see a shrine, it is made out of gold, and they are going towards the statue of the god inside it. We can see here some symbols of the clothes of the King Tutankhamun which was inside the tomb. Of the king, okay? Earring, pin, okay? Necklace, bracelet, okay? Also,
Why the necklace?
some collars.
Kara 4,000 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ 3,000 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ
Avvicinatevi, guardate questa bellezza. Guardate tutte queste collane, mamma mia.
Geçerken Tutankhamun bazı kıyafetleri hemen soldaki olan bazı takılar burada ama bunun arkasındaki takılar biraz
You can see some sandals, they made it from linen, from papyrus, from gold.
ಯಾವ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಬರೋದು
So you can see the sandals here.
ಯಾವ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡು ಬರಲ್ಲ 2,000 ವರ್ಷ ಇದೆ ಚಪ್ಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ 2,000 year old ಚಪ್ಪಲ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಸ್
From wood and half layer of gold. You can see the headrest, and they are going to put the
ಗೋಲ್ಡ್
pillow on it.
ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್
Made from alabaster.
ಆಯಿಲ್ ಕಂಟೈನರ್
We can see the chairs of the King Tutankhamun. Many kind of the chairs.
ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್
No elephant. This is the childhood chair of the King Tutankhamun, and here, this is the Sumerian chair of King Tutankhamun. It is made out of wood,
Okay.
ebony, ivory, and gold. And you
Ivory
can-
and gold.
Yeah, and you can see the legs. They can fold it,
Legs.
and it takes the shape like duck with beak. And this is a footstool depicting the 9 enemies of Egypt. When the king will put his feet on it, he is over controlling this enemy.
Inside the tomb.
Inside the tomb, yes, all of that here.
How many
it
years
was.
old this chariot is?
It's talking about King Tutankhamun, so we're talking about like 3,000 years.
3,000 years old
Yeah, it's talking
chariot.
about like 1200 BC, something like that. So they use it for.
ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಟೂಮ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಚಕ್ರ ಕಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು?
With the famous golden mask inside. The first coffin here. This is the first coffin. It is made out of gold, but pure gold, but mixed with copper, and going to see the mask and decorated by precious stone. Then the first coffin, they are going to put it inside the second coffin here. The second coffin, it is made out of wood and half layer of gold. Then the second coffin here, going to the third coffin here. The third coffin also, it is made out of wood and half layer of gold and decorated by precious stone and glass. Then they bought the 3 coffins in a sarcophagus from granite stone. Then over the sarcophagus, they bought, you can see over there, shrines. 1, 2, 3, 4 inside each others, okay, like Russian dolls. This is
ತುಂಬ
for
ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ
protection
ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ
for
ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
and they depicted here a lot of hieroglyphic inscription from Book of the Dead. This is one of the famous book in ancient Egypt. Will help the king to pass safely to afterlife. Okay, I'll give you like here.
口上能看到眼睛、舌头、录音，就是代表商家埃及的象征。这个是包木乃伊的棺材的。第二个。
ಏನಿದು ಕೆ ಜಿ ಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಬಂಗಾರ. ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂಗಾರ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೆ ಜಿ ಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಬಂಗಾರ 1.5 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇವಾಗ. 10 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಂ, ನಿಜವಾದ ಬಂಗಾರನ ಹೌದಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವೇ? ನೋಡಿ ಮಗ ನೋಡಿ.
Beautifully decorated.
ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ಥರ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಬಂಗಾರ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇದು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಒಡವೆಗಳು. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕೆಟ್ಸ್.
Buy this the best one made of the gold, 110 kilograms pure gold. I'm here. I will not buy it.
ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ನು ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಬಂಗಾರದ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿರೋದು. ಆ ರಾಜನಿಗೆ ಚಾರಿಯಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ರಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಕಾಲೇಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕಾಲೇಟಾದಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅವನಿಗೆ 10 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ 18 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು.
This is the canopic jar of King Tutankhamun. His liver, his intestine, his stomach, his lungs is still inside. Then they are going to put the canopic jars inside the case here.
Yeah. What museum?
This is the canopic jar.
ನೋಡಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಜಾರ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಕಿಂಗ್ ತುತನ್ಖಾಮನ್.
জীবনের মানুষ এই জায়গাতে ওই হাওয়া লিভার ওইগুলো রাখা হতো
King Tutankhamun.
Found in front of the burial chamber. Here the king wearing the ceremonial headdress. It is made out of fruit. They have layer of gold painted with black color. Okay, because the black color in ancient Egypt was the color of dead person in ancient Egypt. They were wearing golden sandal. Okay, the same here, but they replaced the headdress.
This is Kemet.
Okay,
Kemet.
also.
ರಾಜಭಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅವರು ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಬಂಗಾರಗಳು ಒದ್ದಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Different things. The first one here we are going to see body of crocodile, head of hippo. The second one, cow. The third one is lion. Okay, this is couches of King Tutankhamun. Made out of wood, half made of wood. Of King Tutankhamun. It is made out of gold, silver, and you can see the first one over there from metal. Metal at that time, we're talking about 1200 BC, no metal in ancient Egypt. So the scholars suggested that maybe that metal came from the sky. It was like asteroid or meteoroid, and the ancient Egyptians used it for making that part of the collection of King Tutankhamun. So the
ಬಂಗಾರದ
You can see
ನೆಕ್ಲೆಸ್
glass, okay,
Tutankhamun.
precious stone, and this was on the mountain. 7 kilograms of gold.
70.
7.
7 kilograms
If
ಗೋಲ್ಡ್.
you want to take a
ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕ್ಯೂ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕಿಂಗ್ ತುತನ್ಖಾಮನ್.
very close.
ವಾವ್, ಕಿಂಗ್ ತುತನ್ಖಾಮನ್ ನೋಡಿ, 5 ಕಿಲೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಜನೋ ಜನ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಕ್ಯೂ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ ಪಾದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ಬಂಗಾರ ಬಂಗಾರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆ ಜಿ ಬಂಗಾರ ಇಟ್ಟವ್ರಪ್ಪ. ಈ ಬೆಡ್ಶೀಟು ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಟ್ಟೆಗಳದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಗಮ್ಮು ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣ. 2000-3000 ವರ್ಷ ಹಳೆಯದು. ನೋಡಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಪ್ಪು ಬಣ್ಣ ಬಡದು. ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್.
Questo ancora una figurata della mummia di Tutankhamun.
Fruit
ಕಿಂಗ್ ತುತನ್ಖಾಮನ್.
and gold, okay? And some scholars suggest that maybe it was made at the beginning 4 years of the ruling of the King Tutankhamun because he depicted God Atum, and because he was the son of King Akhenaten, so he followed God Atum at the beginning, then later on to God Amun, okay? His wife. His wife, she's attending her arm to her shoulder and holding jar of oil on the other side, okay? Then God Atum at the top. Then the armchair taking the shape like winged cobra with double crown. Also, we're going to see two depiction of lion for protection. And we're going to see the footstool here depicting the lion enemies of Egypt. So when the king will put his feet on the footstool, he is over controlling his enemies. Mummies of the babies of the King Tutankhamun. Like I told you, he got married and he got 2 children died infant, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. So this is the coffin.
ಕಿಂಗ್ ತುತನ್ಖಾಮನ್ ಅವರ ಬೇಬೀಸ್ಗಳು. ಹೌದು ಹೌದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳು ಕಿಂಗ್ ತುತನ್ಖಾಮನ್. ನೈಲ್ ರಿವರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕದಂಥದ್ದು ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂ ಹತ್ರ ಇದ್ದವ್ರೆ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಲ್ಲು ಎಷ್ಟು ದಪ್ಪ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದಾಗ ಇದನ್ನು ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾಡೋಣ. 300 ಜನ ಬೇಕು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಲ್ಲು ಎತ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರಗಳು 2000 ವರ್ಷ ಹಳೆಯದು.
Showing us restoration and also assembly of the boat.
ಆ ಮರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Okay,
Boat ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂ.
showing us the process of restoration and not supposed to be going to be boat piece, but they are going to reconnect it down. Let's go up to see the boat from top.
ಬೋಟ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂ. ಮಳೆನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಡೆದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಇನ್ನೂ ದಾರ ಹಗ್ಗ ಕಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋರಪ್ಪ. ಇದೊಂಥರ ಬೋಟ್ ಇದು. ನೈಲ್ ರಿವರ್ ಬೋಟ್. Okay, bye bye. Museum is closed. Thank you.